the Universal House of Justice, Rizwan 2011. To the Baha'is of the world, dearly loved friends, at the opening of this glorious season, our eyes are brightened as we behold the newly unveiled brilliance of the gilded dome that crowns the exalted shrine of the Bath. Restored to the supernal luster intended for it by Shoghi Effendi, the august edifice once again shines out to land, sea, and sky by day and night, attesting the majesty and holiness of Him whose hallowed remains are embosomed within. This moment of joy synchronizes with the close of an auspicious chapter in the unfoldment of the divine plan. Only a single decade remains of the first century of the formative age, the first 100 years to be spent beneath the benevolent shade of the will and testament of Abdul Baha. The 5-year plan now ending is succeeded by another, the features of which have already been made the object of intense study across the Baha'i world. Indeed, we could not be more gratified by the response to our message to the Conference of the Continental Board of Counselors and to the Rizwan message of 12 months ago. Not satisfied with a fragmentary grasp of their contents, the friends are returning to these messages again and again, singly and in groups, at a formal meeting and in spontaneous gathering. Their understanding is enriched through active and informed participation in the programs of growth being nurtured in their clusters. Consequently, the Baha'i community worldwide has consciously absorbed in a few months what it needs to propel into a confident start to the coming decade. Over the same period, cumulative instances of political upheaval and economic turmoil on the various continents have shaken government and peoples. Societies have been brought to the brink of revolution, and in a notable cases over the edge. Leaders are finding that neither arms nor riches can guarantee security. Where the aspirations of the people have gone unfulfilled, a store of indignation has accrued. We recall how pointedly Baha'u'llah admonished the rulers of the earth. Your people are your treasures. Beware lest your rule violate the commandments of God, and ye deliver your wards to the hands of the robber. A word of caution. No matter how captivating the spectacle of the people's fervor for change, it must be remembered that there are interests which manipulate the course of events. And so long as the remedy prescribed by the divine physician is not administered, the tribulations of this age will persist and deepen. An attentive observer of the times will readily recognize the accelerated disintegration, fitful but relentless, of a world order lamentably defective. Yet, discernible too in its counterpart, the constructive process that the Guardian associated with the nascent faith of Baha'u'llah and described as the harbinger of the new world order that faith must ere long establish. Its indirect effect can be seen in the outpouring of healing, especially from the young, that springs from a longing to contribute to societal development. It is a bounty accorded to the followers of the ancient beauty that this longing, which wells up inexorably from the human spirit in every land, is able to find such eloquent expression in the work the Baha'i community is carrying out to build capacity for effective action amongst the diverse populations of the planet. Can any privilege compare with this? For insight into this work, let every believer look to Abdul Baha, the centenary of whose epoch-making journey to Egypt and the West is being marked at this time. Tirelessly, he expounded the teachings in every social space, in homes and mission halls, churches and synagogues, parks and public squares, railway carriages and ocean liners, clubs and societies, schools and universities. Uncompromising in defense of the truth, yet infinitely gentle in manner, he brought the universal divine principles to bear on the exigencies of the age. To all, without distinctions, officials, scientists, workers, children, parents, exiles, activists, clerics, and skeptics, he imparted love, wisdom, comfort, whatever the particular name. While elevating their souls, he challenged their assumptions, reoriented their perspective, expanded their consciousness, and focused their energy. He demonstrated by word and deed such compassion and generosity that hearts were utterly transformed. No one was turned away. Our great hope is that frequent recollection during this centennial period of the Master's matchless record will inspire and fortify his sincere admirers. Set his example before your eyes and fix your gaze upon it. Let it be your instinctive guide in your pursuit of the aim of the plan. At the inception of the Baha'i community's first global plan, Shawki Effendi described in compelling language the successive stages by which the divine light had been kindled in the Siyata, glowed in the lamp of revelation in Baghdad, spread to countries in Asia and Africa, even as it shone with added brilliancy in Adrianople and later in Akka, projected across the seas to the remaining continents, and by which it would be progressively diffused over the states and dependencies of the world. The final part of this process is characterized as the penetration of that light into all the remaining territories of the globe, referring to it as the stage at which the light of God's triumphant faith shining in all its power and glory, will have suffused and enveloped the entire planet. Though that goal is far from being fulfilled, the light already blazes intensely in many a region. In some countries, it shines in every cluster. In the land where that inextinguishable light was first ignited, it burns bright despite those who would snuff it out. In diverse nations, it achieves a steady growth across whole neighborhoods and villages. As candle after candle, in heart after heart, is lighted by the hand of providence. It illuminates thoughtful conversation at every level of human interaction. It casts its beams upon a myriad initiatives taken to promote the well-being of a people. And in every instance, it radiates from a faithful believer, a vibrant community, a loving spiritual assembly, each a beacon of light against the gloom. We pray earnestly at the sacred threshold that each one of you, bearers of the undying flame, may be surrounded by the potent confirmations of Baha'u'llah as you convey to others this spark of faith, the universal house of justice.